3, 2, 1, and action. Buddy, come here, yo. I got ya. What is up, Travels with Buddy Nation on the Travels with Buddy Station? Today is Monday, March 29th, and we're getting closer and closer to warm weather, but all of a sudden it got cold out there in the western New England area. It's about 20 degrees outside and heavy winds, right, bud? But at least it's sunny out. But anyways, for today, we're going to do an exercise. It's called a drag curl. It's a really good exercise for the biceps. It's an exercise that I just started doing recently, and I never really realized how effective this exercise is for building the peak of the bicep muscles. It really hits those biceps, especially if you want to get a higher peak on your bicep. And it's a really good exercise. And I just started doing it not too long ago, but it's very effective. It's very simple, and I've seen people do this exercise in the gym throughout the years, and I never really started doing it because I never thought it was that effective. Buddy, he's doing the butt rub on the floor, and you know why? It's because it's dry in here, because the heater's kicking on all of a sudden. You know, we're having some 60, 70 degree weather, and all of a sudden, boom, it got cold. It dropped down to 20 degrees, the heater's kicking on, it's dry in here. But anyways, back to the drag curls. Drag curls is an awesome exercise for the biceps. Basically, it's called the drag curl because when you're doing the curl, if you're standing there with a barbell, you're dragging the bar across like your stomach and your chest, and you're bringing your elbows back as you're doing the exercise. And at the top position, basically your palms will be facing underneath your armpits. So basically you're doing the curl like this. And you don't have to straighten your arm out completely at the bottom. You want to keep your elbows slightly bent, even at the bottom position. It keeps the tension on the biceps. And you bring your elbows back when you're doing the curl. So at the top position, your palms are just under your armpit. Like a traditional barbell curl, you got your elbows at your side and you're curling the weight up to your front part of your deltoid. The thing is, when you're doing an exercise like this, it's good for your biceps too, but it also works your front delts because it gets other muscles involved. So the regular bicep curl, you're doing it like this. Basically, you got your elbows fixed in place on, at the sides of your body. And you're doing a curl like this, which is very effective. It hits the biceps very well. But with the drag curl, you're bringing your elbows back, and as you're bringing the weight up, and you're dragging. They call it drag curl because you're basically dragging the bar across your abdominals and your chest. So you got your elbows back, and you're bringing the weight up like this, and it really hits the peak of the biceps again, as opposed to doing a regular curl like this. And so I will demonstrate the drag curl. You can do this exercise with a barbell, dumbbell, straight bar. I'm going to demonstrate it with the curl bar, and I'm also going to demonstrate it with 2 dumbbells. And Bud, you can spot me in the other room. And I don't know if we'll go for a walk later. We might go for a walk. It's a little chilly for this guy to be going for a walk. Like I say, it's like 20 degrees outside and it's windy, so I don't know if I'm going to take him for a walk today. He might be too cold, but maybe we'll just go out in the backyard for a little bit. But for now, you can spot me in the other room, and I'm going to demonstrate to your fans how to do the drag curl. All right, bud? All right. And his hair is, now I'm glad I didn't give him a haircut. His hair is nice and thick. I was going to give him a haircut last week because we were getting some warm weather. I'm glad I didn't. So I'll wait a few more weeks before I do that. All right, bud, I'll put you in the other room. Bonk. And you can spot me from over here. All right. So I will demonstrate the drag curl. I'll start with the curl bar. Oh, I almost forgot. I got to put on my weightlifting gloves. If it was a little warmer, I would do this exercise wearing a short sleeve shirt, but because it's so cold, and I like to warm up. I like to do when I warm up working out, I like to be warm. I don't want to be cold when I warm up. So it's important to, when you're warming up, when you're doing weightlifting, to dress warm so you're not cold, you don't pull any muscles. So anyway, I will demonstrate the drag curl. And I'll start with lightweight. Basically, I'll stand in the side view so you can see me from the side. I'll try to get about 20 to 25 repetitions. And as you notice my elbows in the front parts of my hand. I drag the weight, or I drag the bar on my stomach and my chest. And I bring my elbows back. Again, a traditional curl is like this. You're bringing the weight up like this. Okay. Now the drag curl is like this. At the top position, your palms are basically under your armpits. And when you bring the weight down, you don't lock your elbows out. You want to keep your elbows slightly bent to keep the tension on the bicep. So I'll do about 15 to 20 repetitions, maybe 25. So count along with me. Oh, all right, I got 25 reps, and I'll tell you, boy, I felt a burn right on my bicep. Bringing that weight up, curling the elbows back, or bringing the elbows back, curling the weight up, just using my biceps. Another good thing about the drag curl is it really takes the shoulder out of the equation when you're doing the lift, or when you're doing the curl. Like I say, in a regular standard barbell curl, you got your elbows at your sides and you're curling the weight up. And you're using a lot of shoulder. You get working a lot of shoulder when you're doing it like that. But with the drag curl, it's called the drag curl because you're holding the bar real close to your stomach and you're bringing the weight up like this. It's a shorter range of motion, but it really isolates those biceps. And you really feel it work in the bicep. And again, at the top position, you want your palms is basically it's underneath your armpits at the top position. And you bring your elbows back. Then when you bring the weight down, you don't lock your elbows out, you keep your elbows slightly bent. So I'm going to do another set of drag curls. This time I'm going to use the dumbbells. And again, you don't need much weight when you're doing this exercise because it really isolates those biceps. And like I say, it takes the shoulders, the hips, and all the other muscles out of the equation. It really just hits the biceps. So again, when you're doing regular bicep dumbbell curl, basically you're bringing the weight up like this, and you're working it like this. But with the drag curl, you pull your elbows back, your elbows are slightly bent. That way there, it keeps the tension right on the bicep, and then you just bring the weight up. I'll try to go for about 15 to 25 reps. 25 reps with that. And again, that was a really good exercise. I really felt that in my biceps. And like I say, it's a different variation from the regular curl. Again, a regular dumbbell curl, you would be like this, elbows fixed in place. And again, this is a good exercise too. But with this exercise, you're working a lot of shoulder. And once you get higher than like 3/4 of the way, you're working a lot of other muscles, primarily your shoulder, back, and hips. But with the drag curl, you got your elbows back, you drag the weight towards your stomach and your chest, and basically it really isolates that bicep. And at the end of the position, or the top position, you got your palms just underneath your armpits. This is a shorter range of motion, but it really targets those biceps. Basically, this is the drag curl, it's like this. And I really feel that right in the biceps. Really good exercise. It's not that difficult to do, very simple, and it really isolates those biceps. So if you really want to train your biceps and just your biceps, it's a really good exercise to try. So remember, if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to Travels with Buddy for different strength training ideas, tips, and different strategies of lifting and lifting techniques and whatnot. Remember to keep training, keep taking those walks, and have an awesome day, and peace out, everybody.